ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਵਾਗਤ ਹੈ ਜੀ। ਅਮਰੀਕਾ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਤੇ ਈਸਟ ਕੋਸਟ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਵੱਡਾ ਵਰਤਾਰਾ ਇਹ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰ ਕਿਸੇ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਅਮਰੀਕਨ ਨੂੰ ਡੈਮੋਕ੍ਰੈਟਿਕ ਸੈਨੇਟ ਸੀਟ ਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਬਣਨ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ। ਨਿਊਯਾਰਕ ਦੇ 6th ਡਿਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਦੇ ਕੈਂਡੀਡੇਟ ਕੈਵਿਨ ਥਾਮਸ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਸਟੂਡੀਓ 'ਚ ਇਨਵਾਈਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ, ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਏਜੰਡੇ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਤਿਆਰੀ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਇਲੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ। ਕੈਵਿਨ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਵੈਰੀ ਮਚ ਫॉर योर टाइम फॉर बीइंग हियर इन आवर स्टूडियो। फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, it's your first time being a politician or being a political candidate, and you got a seat nomination. How's it going on? How tough is your constituency?
Thank you for having me on. This is a great opportunity for Indian Americans. Not too many Indian Americans actually go into this field because our parents from very small,
Doctors,
you're a doctor or an engineer. You can't be anything else. So I have gone out of that mold.
He's a lawyer by profession.
Yes, I'm an attorney. I'm also an appointee of the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights, first Indian American to be appointed to that post in New York. So this campaign is about the little guy, the mom and pop who work jobs just to make ends meet, but there's so much that's out there that is preventing them to get to the middle class life.
Okay, now when you talk about the little guy or mom and pop kind of crowd, ਜਿਹੜੀ constituency ਨੂੰ Kevin Thomas represent ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ, your constituency very vaguely is known as elite area, 6th district, almost a rich area of New York and East Coast. Do you think people who are already very stable and earning good money in their life are going to vote for a Democrat? Usually they vote for Republicans. And the opposite candidate has been Republican all the time and has been a winner.
Well, a lot of individuals don't know who their state senator is. It isn't just about the economy. It is a quality of life, all right? So Long Island has a lot of other issues. We are running out of clean water. Most people don't know that. We have an opioid epidemic. Most people kind of know that, but they don't know what kind of solution.
How close home it is.
Yes. We also have the healthcare fiasco. Healthcare is expensive for a lot of individuals. Even if they are rich, there are high deductibles. You have out-of-pocket payments that you have to make.
It depends upon your earning, actually.
Yes, and we need to find a solution to all of that. It isn't just about, hey, I have a steady income, I have a house, I have a family. It's not just about that. There are so many other issues that are intermingled. Education, for example. Our children deserve world-class education. Are our schools, actually providing that? If not, why not? It's because they don't have enough money coming from the state. We need to make sure the state gives more money to districts that have, low income.
And minorities, probably?
Yeah, minorities. Those kind of districts where their test scores are not that high. You got to put more money into those school districts so that we can get our children up to standard, because they're the next leaders. We need to have these children to go out there and be employed and know how to fight for us in the future.
Okay, so when I was talking about your opposition candidate, he's been there for last 4 decades.
Yes.
He is counted as a pillar of the community. Do you think it's going to be easy for you to shake that pillar?
I doubt he is a pillar of the community.
Okay.
Most people don't know what or who he is. For example, he was in the assembly in 1970s. Then he won a special election in 1989, and he's been in it since then. He's 72 years old, all right? You and I, when we retire, that's the only time we can take a retirement income. That's the only time we get a pension. He rewrote the rules so that he can take a state pension while he's still in office. He's using taxpayer money to pay his mortgage up in Albany at his other house. All right? He sits as the head of the healthcare committee, and he's taking money from pharmaceutical companies, companies that manufacture opioids, and we have an opioid epidemic.
So those are your allegations. How connected are people to those issues?
Connected? You mean how many
how much people understand that these are the actual issues?
They feel like when I knock on doors and I talk to them about the issues in the community, they're like corruption, and we need more, honest politicians. You know, it sounds like an oxymoron to have an honest politician.
Yeah.
But we need a new set of individuals in the state legislature. We need a new set of individuals who have ethics, who want to do good for people. They're not going into the service of others to line their pockets. And that's exactly why I'm
social
running.
responsibility aspect as we can.
I've been a public interest attorney for close to a decade now. I've always served those that are disadvantaged. I gave them a voice in court.
Okay. The area you represent, as I said, it's known as the elite area of New York, but still the profile of whole area is changing. There are a lot more minorities coming in, so many Indian Americans in there, and youth.
Right.
So what have you seen a variation in their demands, needs, or their requirements when they speak to you?
Explain that again.
Compared with the regular American voter. As in New York or in Long Island, usually it's supposed to be white majority area, but when there's a change of profile, do you think the requirements and needs change?
Okay, so the district that I'm representing,
people want you to do for them.
Yes, so those are the issues that I'm fighting for. Healthcare, right? The New York Health Act would create a program that would provide free health coverage for everyone in New York State. And then the government will negotiate with the healthcare companies and the pharmaceutical companies to bring the prices down. All right. They care about the opioid epidemic. They want a solution to what is ravaging our neighborhoods. All right. We need to hold these opioid manufacturers responsible for pushing drugs on doctors for incentives. All right. We have to look at our school systems. All right. Those are the kind of issues that people are talking about. Now, my district, District 6, with about 20 towns, they have a high population of minorities, highest on Long Island. All right. So you have towns like Hempstead, Uniondale, Lakeview, East Meadow, Levittown, South Hicksville. All right, you have a lot of African Americans, Hispanics, and we now have a high concentration of Southeast Asians, Indian Americans in East Meadow and in South Hicksville. So that they need to be energized. All right, and my profile as someone who's been fighting for civil rights all this time, and the fact that I am the first Indian American to be pushed into this election for the state Senate on Long Island is going to energize them to come out and vote.
Okay, I know you're gonna say that everyone is your people, but still Indian American are your people. How much support do you expect from them? Keeping in mind that their number of votes, registered votes, is pretty low compared with the rest of the communities.
So it is a big problem in our community that they don't go out to vote.
They don't even register.
Yeah, why don't they do that, right? We have to go to the root cause of that, because they are not energized. They're not looking.
No, they're very energized. They're very much interested in politics back in India.
Right, but not over here.
They're spending a lot of money there.
Right, but not over here.
But not on you or people here.
Yeah, because they don't know how the politics here works. You know, India is different. Here, it's a little different, and they feel like, you know, they don't understand how to do things here. So
lack of awareness.
Lack of awareness is one of them, and most individuals, they just...
Is there lack of interest also?
It could be. There are a bunch of different reasons why they don't get involved, right? And they go to fundraisers for other candidates. But I'm the first Indian American, right, that the party has chosen for this seat. You know, it's a very big seat. It's comparable to an MLA position in India.
In India, yes.
All right. So once they back me, and we go forward on this, this is a very important race because we just need one more seat to flip in the state Senate for New York to turn blue. And if that happens, we become an alternative.
There's so many laws stuck there which can be helpful for people, including the religious garb bill and healthcare issues. I think छोटी break लेने. After the break, we'll talk about the major issues that need to be addressed in Albany. If Kevin gets elected, what he wants to do after that, after the break.
अब अपनी नापाक हरकतें करने से पहले दुश्मन देश एक बार नहीं 10 बार सोचेगा। हवा से हवा और हवा से जमीन पर दुश्मनों की धज्जियां उड़ाने के लिए तैयार हैं हमारे जांबाज। एयरफोर्स डे के मौके पर देखिए हमारी खास पेशकश, आसमान के योद्धा मेरे साथ।
डॉक्टर या इंजीनियर कोई एक दिन में नहीं बनता, इसमें कई सालों की मेहनत लगती है और हर बड़ी चीज की शुरुआत एक छोटी सी चीज से होती है और इसका नाम है एंथे।
आकाश ला रहा है एंथे, एक नेशनल लेवल स्कॉलरशिप एग्जाम जो दे सकता है अप टू 100% स्कॉलरशिप और ढेरों कैश अवार्ड्स।
जद्दा राग है कार विचाया उसका जादू सारा नु खिंच ले आया उंचता डब्बा खाली नहीं मोड़ता।
पेश है राग वनस्पति जो वर्गा शुद्ध सफेद अति दानेदार, एक बार खाए तो बार बार चाहे।
नया जॉनसन्स बेबी लोशन, नो पैराबेन्स, नो डाइज, सिर्फ प्योर इंग्रेडिएंट्स, 100% जेंटल केयर पहले दिन से। नया जॉनसन्स, चूज जेंटल।
सोने तो खरा मेरा स्वराज, हर मुश्किल तो बड़ा जिद ते अड़िया, खूबियां नाल भरिया खुद में ही रचिया।
स्वराज ਵਿੱਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਇੰਜੀਨੀਅਰ ਖੁਦ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਹਨ, ਇਸੇ ਲਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਖੇਤੀ ਦੇ ਤਜਰਬੇ ਤੇ ਇੰਜੀਨੀਅਰਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਹੁਨਰ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਨ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਵਰਾਜ।
Add malt power to your milk with Milko's Choco Malt. 23 vital nutritions ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹਰ ਗਲਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ malt ਤੇ milk ਦੀ ਸ਼ਕਤੀ guaranteed. Milko's future bright ਹੈ।
ਛੱਡੋ ਪੁੱਠੀ ਆਦਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਪੁੱਠਾ ਫ੍ਰਿਜ ਤੇ 8-in-1 ਕਨਵਰਟੇਬਲ ਹਾਇਰ BMR ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਹੁਣ ਸਿੱਧੇ ਦੀ ਆਦਤ ਪਾਓ।
ਹਾਇਰ ਇਨਸਪਾਇਰਡ ਲਿਵਿੰਗ।
ਇੱਕ ਕਿਸੇ ਕਾਰਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਮਾਂ ਬਣਨ ਦਾ ਸੁਪਨਾ ਸਾਕਾਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਨਿਰਾਸ਼ ਹੋਣ ਦੀ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ। ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਸ਼ਾ ਕਿਰਨ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ ਆਓ ਤੇ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਘਰ ਲੈ ਜਾਓ।
दौड़ेगा भागेगा, बाबा ऑल सीजन्स के लिए कुछ भी करेगा। आई एम अ मैन ऑफ ऑल सीजन्स।
दीदी सुजाता मिक्सर ग्राइंडर बेस्ट है।
सेल्समैन है, बेचने के लिए कुछ भी बोलेगा।
भाई साहब मैं ना अपनी माँ को भगवान से बढ़ के मानता हूँ और इस माँ की कसम खा के कहता हूँ सुजाता मिक्सर ग्राइंडर सबसे बेस्ट है, क्योंकि इसके 900 का पावरफुल मोटर 90 मिनट नॉन स्टॉप चलता है। अब भी आपको यकीन नहीं है ना? आप ऑनलाइन रिव्यू पढ़ लो।
आप पैक कर दीजिए।
सुजाता, इससे बेटर मिक्सर ग्राइंडर नहीं आता।
2 delicious crispy veg burgers for 59. 2 crispy chicken burgers for just 79. क्योंकि पेट भरेगा, नियत नहीं। Burger King, your way.
सोने तो खरा मेरा स्वराज, हर मुश्किल तो बड़ा जिद ते अड़िया, खूबियां नाल भरिया खुद में ही रचिया।
स्वराज ਵਿੱਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਲੇ ਬਹੁਤੇ ਇੰਜੀਨੀਅਰ ਖੁਦ ਕਿਸਾਨ ਹਨ, ਇਸੇ ਲਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਖੇਤੀ ਦੇ ਤਜਰਬੇ ਤੇ ਇੰਜੀਨੀਅਰਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਹੁਨਰ ਨਾਲ ਉਹ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਨ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਵਰਾਜ।
बच्चे के आने की खुशी में अभी से ढोल बज गए। साथ में प्रधानमंत्री मातृ वंदना योजना की खुशी में
पहली बार मां बनने वाली हर गर्भवती महिला के खाते में औसतन 6,000 रुपए जमा किए जाएंगे ताकि उसे मिले पौष्टिक आहार, और उचित आराम।
रजिस्टर कराने पर 1000 रुपए,
पहला चेकअप कराने पे 2000 रुपए,
सरकारी अस्पताल में डिलीवरी कराने पर औसतन 1000 रुपए,
बच्चे के पहले चरण के टीकाकरण और जन्म पंजीकरण कराने पर 2000 रुपए। प्रधानमंत्री मातृ वंदना योजना, रजिस्टर करने के लिए आंगनबाड़ी या आशा दीदी से संपर्क करें।
मैक्स स्टार्टर्स, वायर्स एंड केबल्स। मैक्स स्टार्टर्स कम वोल्टेज में भी चले और मोटर की पूरी सुरक्षा करे सालों साल। मैक्स स्टार्टर्स।
Cadini. The power of presence. Cadini, Italy.
ਕਣਕ ਦੀ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਧ ਝਾੜ ਦੇਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਨਵੀਂ ਕਿਸਮ ਬਰਾੜ BR 36 ਬੀਜੋ। ਬਰਾੜ ਬੀਜ ਸਟੋਰ ਲੁਧਿਆਣਾ 0161 246 1723 508 8210।
पेश है महिंद्रा यूवो। इसका संवेदनशील हाइड्रोलिक्स ऊंची नीची जमीन पर भी करे सटीकता से काम, और इसकी 1500 किलो की लिफ्ट कैपेसिटी से भारी उपकरणों के साथ काम करना हो आसान। महिंद्रा यूवो, ज्यादा जल्दी बेहतर।
7 अक्टूबर होएगा सियासत का सुपर संडे। लंबी छोड़ के कैप्टन पटियाला सुखबीर बादल देंगे दस्तक। बरगाड़ी मोर्चे ते भी रहेगी सियासत तेज। सियासत दे सुपर संडे की हर अपडेट सब तो पहला सिर्फ BTC न्यूज़ से सवेरे 8 बजे तो लाइव।
ब्रेक तो बाद गलबात का सिलसिला फिर जारी है। ब्रेक तो वापस आके ਅਸੀਂ ਹੁਣੇ ਜਾਣਨਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੈਵਿਨ ਥਾਮਸ ਜੇ ਜਿੱਤਦੇ ਨੇ ਲੌਂਗ ਆਈਲੈਂਡ ਦੀ 6 ਡਿਸਟ੍ਰਿਕਟ ਸੀਟ ਤੋਂ ਹੀ ਖੜੇ ਨੇ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਪਰ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੈਵਿਨ ਥਾਮਸ? Why Kevin? Kevin, you've done a lot of work as a lawyer for American civil rights organizations, right? Were you involved in specific cases which compelled you to think about becoming a lawmaker ultimately?
Yes. So as a legal services attorney, I worked for a nonprofit organization called the New York Legal Assistance Group. So that's my first job out of law school in 2010, where I was in charge of a program in the Bronx Supreme Court that provided a free attorney to those who are sued over consumer debt. So consumer debt means credit card defaults, student loans, auto loans, etc. So last year around this time, I was working with a New York Times reporter named Stacey Cowley about a student loan company coming into court, filing lawsuits without proper documentation. Once that story broke, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is an agency created after the crash in 2008-2009, it was there to protect consumers from like fraud from financial institutions. So once that company news broke, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, they filed a lawsuit against them, told them not to file any lawsuits. Then the head of the agency, Richard Cordery, resigned actually to run for office in Ohio. Oh wow! Yeah, he's running to become the governor. So instead of repenting, he's asking for more powers. Yes, because of what was going on at that point. So he's running to become the governor of Ohio, and Trump then hired Mulvaney to head the agency, and this individual was just trying to break the organization down from the inside. So he started to defund the organization and defang it. By that I mean defunding. Every year the head of the agency asks money from Congress to run the agency. This year he basically said, we have too much money. I don't need any more money. Actually, we have too much money. I'm giving you back some money to the Treasury. All right. And he started dropping lawsuits against these financial firms that committed fraud. Those who were committing fraud. Yes. All right. And he also started closing down offices that were protecting student loan borrowers. And all this enraged me. Like, I saw my coworkers go out there and protest, but protesting isn't enough at this point. So my form of resistance... So unless you have somebody sitting in Albany actually trying to stop it. Yes. That's why I decided to run, because I am one of them, and they need to understand they can pick up the phone and call me and say, Kevin, you know, we have this problem here. Can you push a bill that will help stop this?
You were involved in doing some research on NYPD's work also?
So during my tenure at NILAG, I was also appointed by the U.S. Commission on Civil Rights to the New York State Advisory Committee. So this federal agency was created to oversee civil rights in all of America. But they also have small advisory committees in every state to study what's happening in the state in terms of civil rights. So our project, our investigation was about the NYPD and their use of broken windows policing, their overuse, and how it affects minorities.
Including stop and frisk.
Stop and frisk is one of them, jumping the turnstile, children going from school to the prison pipeline. You know, all these are issues that have been investigated. We published our report. You can find it online on the U.S. Commission of Civil Rights website. But these are the kind of issues that I have always fought for, fighting for the little guy, fighting for the individual that does not have a voice. While my opponent has always sided with the rich and the powerful.
Now, when we talk about rich and powerful, even when I say that your a specific district has a lot of money and people are pretty strong there, still, once you become a senator, you become a representative of the whole New York state, right? So there's a unemployment issue in the state, especially in New York City and congested areas. There's a homelessness. What's your point of view on those issues where a lot of fund is required and not much is coming in?
So we need to find a solution for all of that, right? We need to work with partners on the ground who are seeing what and where money is going and how to divert further funds to programs. I am open to trying to find a solution to the homelessness problem and to find a solution to our MTA problems. You know, these are issues that matter to all New Yorkers, quality of life issues. So, yeah.
So many times President Trump has threatened and Attorney General Jeff Sessions has threatened to cut funds of the sanctuary cities.
Right.
You belong to this area. This whole area is a sanctuary area. So what happens if those funds are cut down and state doesn't have too much money? What does a senator do?
Well, if President Trump decides to cut funds from sanctuary cities, I don't think New York is one of them as of yet. We have to still pass certain laws that would you know,
denominate this area as a sanctuary city.
Yes, right. So you have the New York Liberty Act, you have the DREAM Act that is still stuck in the state Senate. So again, when they have done this in the past with other states, those states filed a lawsuit against the federal government. And that's most likely what New York is going to do. All right. We need to protect our immigrant population. They like inclusion makes us stronger. And that's what we need to show them. If we are able to turn the New York State Senate blue, we become the alternative to Trump's America.
The two gentlemen who stand as a big hope for the Democrat Party here, you are there, John Lewis there, who is probably thinking that because his own predecessor was a Democrat, but he started supporting Republican
Party. IDC, right.
Right. So what's going to happen in future is a question that's there in the party's mind. Why do you think you two as candidates from minority are there representing the party now?
Because our demographics are changing, right? This is not the same New York area that was 20, 30, 40 years ago when my opponent first got elected. All right. After 40 years of the same representation, I know you keep talking about how this area is rich. It's not. We have the highest poverty rate.
It's perceived to be rich.
Right. It's they have the highest. Long Island has the highest poverty rate since 1959.
Oh.
People don't know that. All right. We're running out of clean water. You know, a lot of people.
Industrialization is falling.
The what? I'm sorry.
Industrialization has fallen. there's not too much money coming in.
Right, because a lot of young Long Islanders are leaving as well.
Yes.
And you have an older population here, and senior citizens can no longer afford their homes. A lot of them are going into foreclosure. Like back in the day, when you retire, you have money. These days, when you retire, you're filing bankruptcy. And this is not how we should proceed. If we don't fix this now, this is going to end up being a whole lot worse 10, 20 years from now.
All right, so we have last 2 minutes. What's your message to my audience, not to your voter, to my audience?
All right, so my name is Kevin Thomas. I'm an Indian American, first Indian American to get a nomination from the Democratic Party running for this seat. On November 6th, I want you to come out and vote. Even if you're not in my district, I want you to come out and vote because we need you for this election. Now, if I win, in November 6th, November 7th is Diwali. This will be Diwali for us because a new age has started with the Indian American community being represented in government in New York. New Jersey has it, a lot of other states have it, but New York being so progressive with so many Indian Americans and Southeast Asians here, we don't have that kind of representation. So if I win, when I win, it's going to be big. And I want you to be part of history.
All right, most of you are educated, successful. Even if you are not having college degrees, you are successful. You have come far from your homeland and you have made your space here. So I'm not going to tell you to vote for Kevin, but I'm going to repeat that you should come and vote. You decide who you want to vote for, but you should vote. We are lacking as a voter here. So if we become a good vote lobby, we can ask for our rights, our needs, and our requirements to be met. And now, thank you very much, Kevin.
Thank you.
We'll keep a watch on what you are declaring and what you're actually achieving. For now, thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right.
और अगली बार मुद्दा दे एपिसोड ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਸ਼ਖਸੀਅਤ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮਿਲਾਵਾਂਗੇ। ਫਿਲਹਾਲ ਧੰਨਵਾਦ।